thepascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up? We got some new updates revolving around the Carmelo Anthony Austin Metcalf situation, the case that is taking over the entire world. There's been some really crazy stuff that's been going on, y'all. And it's been the swatting situation. Yes, I'm not kidding. Allegedly, there has been another swatting situation, this time over at Jeff Metcalf's home again. So if we get this correct, it has happened 3 different times on the Metcalf family, 2 times at Jeff Metcalf's home, and 1 time at the mother's home. Because if I'm correct, they are separated. But I just want to share this again. He posted this, yesterday, if I'm correct. And then he took it down because I understand why. All right. He doesn't want to incite any type of craziness. He doesn't want to invite anybody to his front door. But if you can see right here, he says, unbelievable. Another swatting call to the police tonight. Shaking my head. Come talk to me man to man, face to face. I will not back down or move. Kick the beehive and see what happens. Now, this got shared a whole bunch. People were reacting to this, but I think he took this down and just put up unreal because, of course, he put up a comment literally saying unreal because let's be real. Yeah, I can understand why he changed his mind on this because, again, he doesn't want to incite violence. He doesn't want to invite violence at his front door. But, of course, at some point, you're getting to the place where you're like, listen, guys, I'm tired of the BS. I'm tired of the fighting. I'm tired of the swatting. I'm tired of the pranks, etc. I'm really worried. People are threatening my life, the life of my family, my kids, even Hunter's life is allegedly being threatened right now. All these things are very important, and we should be taking this very seriously. The same thing that happened with Carmelo Anthony, with his family. They've been getting people showing up to their homes, knocking on their doors. They've been getting fake prank pizza deliveries to their homes and all that stuff. That is just absolutely insane. And I know some people are like, oh yeah, it's swatting is a big difference than. It's completely different than it's a lot more intense than pizza deliveries. Well, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter. Okay, none of these families deserve to be messed with at all. These are not the people that are on trial. Carmelo himself is on trial. All right, you got a family that is grieving, y'all. A family, the Metcalf family is grieving. They deserve that right to get a chance to grieve. People going up to their front doors and knocking on their doors and getting all up in their business and threatening their lives is not going to help the situation at all. At the end of the day, you got a grieving father and you don't know if this man might snap. I'm just saying that respectfully. You don't know how he's going to react. He might freaking snap, y'all. And this is wrong. Again, this is not how you get things done, okay? Let the courts do what they need to do. Find Carmelo Anthony guilty or not guilty, and let's move on. But at the same time, when you get people doing things like this, all you're wanting is to stir the pot, and you're wanting somebody to do something unthinkable. You want them to do something that catches headlines. This is not how it should be happening. And in fact, it feels like, in a way, that people want some sort of race war to happen. It's insane to me that people are really trying to just sit on the fact, like trying to turn this into some sort of race thing. Okay. And I mean, let me reiterate that. It's not like they are trying okay. It has become a race thing. But the thing is that everybody's still riding on that. And that's what's so sad about it. Okay. Like I feel like we should have grown into this case, and our opinions, etc., should have grown towards something more towards like, let's find out if this is self-defense or not. Let's find out if this is first or second degree M. Let's find out what's going on. Let's see the facts. Let's see the evidence before we start making our own decisions and start hanging a family out to dry either side of the fence on this case. This is absolutely crazy. And the fact that we got people out there trying to compare and contrast on how intense swatting is in comparison to pizzas being delivered, like prank pizza deliveries being done at one family, or to one family's home, is absolutely appalling to me. Okay, let me just be completely real on that. That is just ridiculous. But nonetheless, it feels like people are really wanting to turn this into some sort of race war. I don't understand why. All right. We need to be better as a people. We need to transcend beyond the color of our skin. I know some of y'all be like blah about it, but at the same time, we need to be better as a people. That's it. We do. But here's something else. There's some other video that came from that Protect White Americans protest, if you want to call it that. It just seemed like a small gathering of people. All right. But at the end of the day, you had the a spokesperson for Jeff Metcalf, I guess one of his friends maybe, showing up. This is after, or maybe this is after or before. I don't know where this happens, but this is right around the time that Jake Lang has a conversation with Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff Metcalf, on the phone, and Jeff Metcalf hands it to him. Okay. Definitely gives him his peace of mind in regards to this whole situation, basically saying you're not bridging the gap. You're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution and all that. But this is something very interesting. This was played on Roland Martin's show, and I wanted to hear more from the man in the cowboy hat. His name is Bruce Carter. I finally found out his name. He is the one who's basically speaking on behalf of Jeff after, I guess, they had this phone conversation, the infamous phone conversation that we all know now, okay? And he's basically like trying to level with Jake Lang, basically saying like, listen, you got a family that's grieving, and it's more than just Jeff Metcalf that is grieving and going through these threats and the swatting, etc. It's his whole family. Let's take a listen to this. This is serious, guys. This is very serious. And the way that Jake Lang responds to this whole thing is just appalling to me, man. Like, he's running for office? Really? This is not somebody who should be elected in office, in my personal opinion. Let's roll the tape.
Travel across the country to reduce violence in black communities.
Thank you. I stand with you, sir,
on a regular basis. But today, I'm here on behalf of the father, Jeff Metcalf.
Okay.
What he's asking you is to not use his son's image or likeness in what you're doing. You can do what you do, but that's not what he wants his son tied to.
Okay.
Out of respect for that family.
Now, I would ask Jeff Metcalf if he would be bold enough to act like a father of the deceased young man that was murdered, instead of being somebody suppressed, worried that he's going to spark the next race riots or some type of thing. He needs to stand for righteousness, not for conflict. The consequences of righteous actions always need to be taken seriously. He needs to be righteous before he is fearful.
But here's the thing. Like, he could speak out, but he doesn't have to speak out with you. He doesn't have to stand next to you, next to this whole Protect White Americans movement or Protect White Americans protest. He doesn't have to do that. He can easily go to the news and say what he needs to say, which he has done multiple times, and say his piece. So again, for him to sit there and say, why doesn't he just stand on the bus and be with me and all that stuff? He would stop being basically calling him a coward. When it's like, wait a second, the father's grieving, y'all. Maybe what you stand for and what you're talking about, calling black people degenerates, maybe he doesn't stand for that, okay? Maybe he just doesn't stand for that. And he has every right to not want to stand on your bus and speak out in unison with you. At the end of the day, he's already said his piece. He doesn't want you to use his son's likeness, and you should respect that. But he's trying to turn it into something else, like he's trying to have some viral moment. And again, it's like he really does want, this Jake Lang guy really wants like chaos in the streets. Turn this into a whole race war. Stop it already.
He's acting out of fear, not out of righteousness. He should have been on the top of the bus today. He should have been standing shoulder to shoulder with me.
Are you a father?
No, I'm not.
I'm a father.
Amen.
I'm a father. As a father, there is this thing called grief. So let me tell you what's going on in his house. He's getting swatted. His only other son.
Who is swatting him? Which community?
No, we don't know the community, but it's happening. That's on the police to find. Secondly, he has a son who's a twin, who his son died in his arms. So that means he needs to navigate that. Then his son, who's his only son, is getting death threats. So as a father, his hands is full. So the last thing he wants to be tied to is having this complex of race. So yes, violence is bad. Young black men are getting killed every day by young black men across this country.
Yes, but I'm not a member of that community. I'm a member of my community. My community is being victimized by the community of violent black, absolute degenerates.
See, he just called black people degenerates. All right. Again, is this the kind of thing that Jeff Metcalf wants to be a part of? Standing shoulder to shoulder with this guy on top of his bus. I'm telling you right now, clearly he does not. And then at the same time, you just heard that Bruce Carter just say that Jeff Metcalf's son, Hunter Metcalf, is also receiving death threats. So it's not just Carmelo Anthony's family and Carmelo getting death threats. They're also getting death threats as well. All right. This is absolutely getting out of hand and insane. And I'm telling you right now, I get everybody has their feelings. I get how people, want to speak out and do what they need to do, say what they want to say. But at the same time, you need to do this peacefully. And we need to do this in the right way. Doing it like this, someone's going to get hurt, y'all. Someone's going to get hurt. And I don't want to see that happen.
We're degenerates.
When you stand up in the name of God, there's one body. And if you're not a part of that body.
I could read statistics. So I'm also a pragmatic human being.
You notice that he just brought up God. Right? You heard Bruce say, hey, in faith, there's only one body, meaning we transcend color. It's all about the content of character. And if you are a God-loving or God-fearing person. And as soon as he says that, what does Jake Lang do? He doesn't even react to that. He goes, oh, well, I got statistics. So
I understand when there's a problem, it needs to be addressed head on. If you tiptoe around a problem, that's how you get to the end result.
So your biggest concern is the loss of white life by black people?
No, that's not my big. I have concern.
The concern is a repeating pattern. It doesn't stop. It just keeps going on and on and on and on. We just can't ignore it any longer. If it stops, we're good.
So I have a question for you. Do you believe more white people are killed by white people or by black people?
Listen, by strangers, it's 2 to 1. Every single race in domestic issues, because we live amongst each other and uncles kill uncles or drunk at barbecues and stuff like that, it's always the same amount.
So your response is
let me respond, please. Please let me respond.
Is your response that Mr. Metcalf needs to get on your bus and tell people
if I was him, I would do it.
But he's not you. So what I'm saying
but I'm telling you, I'm somebody that stands for what I believe in, and I don't cower when it's time to stand.
If your desire
it's because of fear.
My desire is that another Austin Metcalf does not happen next week. And if I was his father, I would stand righteously to say, yes, but I'm a man.
We all have common sense. We know. Hold on. We know.
No, I'm not speaking for white men in this country. I'm speaking for white people in this country.
Are you a father? Are you a father?
Hold on one second.
Are you a father?
I'm not. Hold on.
Okay. Now, again, like I said, the thing is, the main takeaway from this video, which, like I said, it's trash. And these two guys over to the left of the screen, they are both also J6ers. Okay, they were both incarcerated, etc. They were both pardoned by Trump when Trump went back into office and all that. And I'll just say, you take that for what it's worth. Okay. But again, you got a guy who is sitting here saying that black people are degenerates, etc. And then you got a black guy right there that's standing right next to him, even behind him, okay, and is echoing and is giving him the stamp of approval and say, yeah, black people are degenerates. That's insane, guys. All right? That's absolutely insane. You clearly are not going to have a logical conversation with anyone like this. If they are already starting off with saying, oh, they're degenerates, they're this, and this, that we need to get the white people away from black people because they're just destroying they're destroying white people. That's just absolutely insane to me. But at the same time, to me, I feel like those guys wanted some sort of chaos. They wanted anarchy. They wanted some sort of race war. And again, it's like, wait, you want him to come up and say something? Because I'm telling you right now, if he was to stand on top of that bus and stand next to this Jake Lang at a Protect White Americans protest, do you really think America would not react? America would react so quickly. There would be so many people showing up. There would be absolute chaos in the streets, and it would last for days. It wouldn't last just for that one moment at this protest. It would last for days. In fact, there could have potentially been more protests, more demonstrations out throughout other cities for something like that. Let's be real. What Jeff Metcalf said in the very beginning is still what he is standing on. He says, hey, I have already forgiven Carmelo. I've forgiven him for me. I had to forgive him for me, for myself. I also do not want this to be a race thing. Stop making it a race thing. And unfortunately, the world has taken it over and has made it a race thing. But at the same time, that does not mean that he has to stand on a bus for Protect White Americans just because the world decides to make this a race thing. Again, this father is standing on what he believes in, and he believes that God created all of us. We're all created equal, that if you are a person of faith, there is only one body, and that is it. And we should all be loving to each other and, of course, understanding of each other. He has found a righteous path. He has found a way to forgive Carmelo Anthony. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. All right. And we should respect that. Carmelo Anthony is going to have his day in court, and we will find out his fate. But this does not need to turn into some sort of crazy thing where buildings are burning down. We got vandalism and there's chaos in the streets, all because one person, one side does not like how the other side looks racially. That is ridiculous. But that's what it seems like. They're waiting and wanting and trying so hard to start some sort of race war. And I'm telling you right now, both families are in pain right now. Both families are scared for their lives right now. And we need to leave these families alone and stop hoping and praying for some sort of chaos and anarchy in these streets. But what say you guys? Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Again, we need to stop swatting these kids. Stop swatting these people, man. We got to stop doing it. It's not good. It's not helping the people. It's not helping all of us as a people at all. All right? It's not helping the case either. And also, I will say this too. I forgot to say, Jeff Metcalf is basically saying, I ain't moving. Like, he's like, I'm not going anywhere. You want to keep coming through, keep coming through. But I'm telling you right now, next time somebody tries to do something, you know what I mean? It could be deadly. And that's sad and scary and does not need to happen. But anyway, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button, and we will talk here very soon. 3 times, guys. They've been swatted 3 times. That is insane. Got to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.